See, I think what I need is a piece of tape. So I am Dr. Sam Richards, professor of sociology at Penn State University, and I teach the Social 19 class right here in this room.
I'm a cameraman on this class. Like I'm usually on the outside, like taking shots so that they can use it back here. Sam, since last year in June, I took his class online, so I couldn't like interact with him. I only had like recorded lectures, but it was really cool. I thought Sam's a pretty cool guy. So when I did come on campus this semester, I decided that I want to work with him. So I signed up.
I've worked for him for like about 2 years now. Most I do is like setting stuff up and like ending the class. And during the class, I kind of just switch the slides, switch if there's Zoom, like I, put that up.
In a class like this, every issue. Yeah, I started getting attention maybe about 4 years ago when I did a video on BTS, 5 years ago really, but I didn't know about it until about a year later. Korean YouTubers were translating, putting subtitles on some of my videos and putting it out there, and then I started getting emails from people in Korea and realized, oh wait, hang on a minute, who's watching these videos? And then I never knew the videos were out there because they downloaded my videos and then re-uploaded them, so I couldn't find them.
I think that's very interesting, and I know that like a lot of Korean culture is like very popular in America, K-pop and things like that, so I thought it was very interesting to learn more about it.
A big struggle for ideas in the marketplace of ideas. I started to become interested in South Korea in 1984 when I had a graduate student colleague from Seoul, and we started talking about Korea and Korean politics, and this was in the period of the authoritarian government. And I was studying authoritarian governments in Latin America, and so it became a really interesting counterpoint to what I was studying. And then he invited me to his house, and he and his wife cooked Korean food. So we had barbecue and kimchi, and it was really the first time I had Korean food, and I really fell in love with Korea.
I'm the Vice President for Student Affairs at Penn State, and Sam Richards has invited me in to engage with him in a conversation about freedom of speech issues on a college campus. Well, since I've been here as the Vice President for 14 years, I've known him all that time. We talk a lot about common issues of interest, and because of my interaction with students and his interaction with students, we have a lot to share, and I think Sam is about as interesting a professor as we have at Penn State.
I generally find the Korean students at Penn State, international students at Penn State, to be really good students. And I can always rely on them to get their work done and do whatever they need to do, right? To be good thinkers and to be thoughtful thinkers. Korean international students are almost always really good students. What's interesting is that there are growing numbers of Koreans studying here in the United States, okay, and growing numbers of Korean Americans who are studying it. But still, relatively speaking, the number is pretty small. But I think that the fact that people study here and then go back to Korea and then study in different parts of the world, meaning that they really understand the United States and they understand Korea. And I don't know what kind of an impact people will have, but they will have an impact. I have a professorship at Konkuk University. I actually one time spoke to Incheon International High School, which was awesome. The kids were great. I really enjoyed myself. In fact, I was with Junho, who's my TA here. He went with me when we were in Seoul together.
교수님 수업 방식이 좀 다른 교수님들이랑 다르거든요. 그러니까 예를 들어 다른 교수님들은 PPT를 이제 학생한테 주고 종이 위주로 공부를 하고 시험 공부를 하고 좀 이렇게 외우는 방식인데 여기 샘 교수님 수업 방식은 좀 달라요. 예를 들어 학생들 이렇게 volunteer하게 하고 그 사람들의 얘기를 듣고 받아들일 수 있기 때문에 교수님의 수업 방식 좀 달라가지고 그게 좀 더 재밌는 것 같아요.
So I think the ways in which Koreans think about community, to me, is really important and really valuable and really fascinating, and I think something that has implications for the rest of the world. So right now I'm thinking a lot about climate change, and I gave a talk at Sebashi, and I've been contacted by a few different organizations and companies in Korea about that issue, and so I want to really keep that going. And I think that the way Koreans think about the community and communitarianism is really important, and the rest of the world can learn something from that. Thing that they called some kind of comedy thing, I'm not really sure what it was mukbang. Actually, I want to do more about Korean eating.
I liked when he talked about Korea a lot because I didn't realize how safe it was there. And so they had a soju bottle, but I think they filled it up with water. I don't think I drank. I actually got soju after that class and tried it. It's good. I liked it.
You know, the one this semester that we did with my TAs and another student about education in Korea, we talked about a number of things, but we talked about education and we talked about the Sunin, and I think that was the most fascinating class that I've done on Korea.
He talked about the culture of like education and like the hagwons.
Any international students who want to come to the United States and get a job and work, first off, perfect your English, get confident in speaking English, not just reading and writing, but confident in speaking English, because Americans really need that. And just be bold, like really get outside yourself and enjoy it. It's a really fascinating country. Don't be afraid. It's just as fascinating as Korea.